All right, hello. Here we are for page 6. And page 6 is the one with the barn. So I made this barn so you can open it up. You see we've got a brad up here, so that's how we get it to spin. And then we put a pocket in here. So the book that I am making previously in this design is an 4th of July book. So I am going to leave my spin as just a rectangle. I think I'm going to try to do it in like an American flag style whenever I decorate it. But so I'm not going to do it as a shape. So let me walk you through how I did this as a shape first, and then we'll make the page. Excuse me. So what I've done is I went ahead and I used my silhouette and I cut out just a black, I cut out 2 black bases of a barn. I did them in the exact same size. And then I cut out my paper. So in my silhouette, I had the shape, and then I just downsized it, I think 1/4 inch. And then I cut out my paper in the shape of the barn. And then I used white to cut out the doors and the trim. But to get this to be an open up, I cut a separate piece to use as my hinge. So I cut a 1/2 inch piece that was 3.5. I could have done it 4. That was 4 inches. So it was 1 by 4. And then I scored it in half, and I put that 1 on this side, 1 on this side to make a hinge for my barn. Now, if you notice here, we have a little lip on this side of our barn, and we have one on this side too. When I open it up, I have a lip here, but I cut it off on this side so that it will open and not get hung up on that lip. Okay, but only on the bottom piece did I cut off that little overhang. Okay, and then everything else that I've done with the barn is what we're getting ready to do with mine. Is just going to be a rectangle. So for this, we are going to need our base page 6. Oops. So we have our top, our bottom, our spine is on the right. And then I need, I didn't put the decorative paper on there. I need 3 pieces. And we're going to score a few of them. So we have piece A, which is going to be the front, or if you're doing your barn, this is your main barn page. Barn, you can, I did a cutting board for that other one, for the recipe book. You could cut it out as a big, oddly shaped flower. You could cut it out as a house. You could cut it out as anything you wanted. As long as you've got a piece up here that you will be able to connect so you can spin it. Excuse me. I'm froggy this morning. All right, so we have piece A that is 6 1/4 by 8 1/4. This is the size of our page. So whatever shape you're cutting it into, this is the piece that you need to start with so that everything will fit. We don't need to score that. This would be the back of your barn. And then you would need to do that additional piece that I said, which would be 1 inch across by 4. You'll have to measure it inches up, score it down the middle. This time I am using just the regular rectangle. I know I've said that 19 times, haven't I? So I don't need to make that additional hinge. I've got room on here. So if you're just doing it just a plain spin up page, then we have A1, which is going to be 6 3/4. by 8.5. And we are going to score at 1/2 inch on the left-hand side. I think I put on 6, but it should be on the left. All right. And then we have B, which is going to be our pocket underneath our spin. And it is 7 1/4 by 3. And we are going to score at 1/2 inch on the left, the bottom, and the right. To make our lovely pocket. It was Dr. Seuss week at school, so there was a lot of accents going on, a lot of Dr. Seussing. And we had enrollment started. So, and I'm probably callous for saying this, but I don't know how many times I've had to answer, no, your 3-year-old cannot start the 4-year-old program. Our cutoff date is September 1st, but they do need to be completely potty trained. No, we don't help potty train them at school. Sorry. So, anywho, I'm going to go ahead and fold and score all my pieces. I've already scored them. I'm going to burnish them. So there's our pocket. I changed my mat. This one's a huge one. I don't know, it's 36 by 24. It almost fits my table. But I was making wreaths during the week. I will have to show. I made a gorgeous Mickey Mouse one. And it's all monochromatic, so it's all black and white and gray. And then I used a stuffed Steamboat Willie. It is gorgeous, but I have a Disney problem, so. All right, so we've done that. Boy, I got that all upside down. So this is our AB, or our back of our spin. This is the front of our spin. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue those down. No, I didn't prime my glue. Hold what you got. Let me in. I hadn't used it in a week, so sometimes it needs help reminding. You're supposed to let out the glue. All right. So there's our wee bit of speckle. Bottom left point to my bottom left. Oh, it's moving on me. All right, I'm going to line it up along the bottom and then up the side. All right. Now I am going to go ahead and put my magnets in, and you do the same thing on your barn. I am having this open up to the outside. Remember, this is our spine, so I am having it not open. Well, it's going to open in that direction. Just because sometimes I use little tuck spots to put pictures in. And if I do that, I don't want them falling out right out this side, because this is the outside of the page. You do yours however makes you happy. Magnets. And again, these are just 10 by 1 magnets that I found on Amazon. I think I've just been, you can go in there and order again. And that's usually how I do it. I am working on an Amazon. I I guess it's a storefront. I don't really know how it works. I just know that I can put the stuff that I use in there because we live about an hour and 15 minutes drive from even the nearest Hobby Lobby. So I get most of my stuff from Amazon. So if nothing else, I will have a spot where you can go and that's, I can put down what I've gotten and how I've gotten it. All right, so there is that. And now we need to find the center of our page. Oh, we need a brad. Now, if you are doing the barn, or as I did in the recipe book where it was a cutting board, if you are doing something that has a point up towards the top, I did journaling lines because it was just going to be, I don't know if I just didn't think of it. I could have used my silhouette and cut out that paper. But anyway, I have an exposed brad. So I picked a brad that's going to be, you know, it's going to match my paper. And that's what I'm going to do. That's not what I'm going to do this time. This time I am going to cover the inside with paper. So I'm going to go ahead and use one of my flat brads. I am still looking to see if I can find these anywhere because they have such a low profile. See, they're all but perfect to put underneath. All right, let's find the center. So it's a 6 1/4 inch page across. I am going to put this. So we need to go 3 1/8 inches, and this is the top. I turned it around. 3 1/8 inches from either side, and I am going to go down 3/4 of an inch. All right, so 3 1/8 from the side, down 3/4 of an inch. That is my center. That is my center. So now I've got a right side up. There's my center, and that's where I'm gonna put my hole. All right, and I can use the 1/8 circle. Now, you know, sometimes I get in a hurry, and I don't even mess with that, with my crocodile. If you have one of these, you can also make your hole with that. You just punch it right in there, and see, it is almost the exact same. Almost a hole, almost an eighth. Boom, boom, shaboom. Now, before I put this on my base page, I need to pick out the paper I'm going to be putting on here. So we're going to go ahead and put our pocket down. So now I have out B. I have B. I'm going to go ahead and glue her down. Then I'm going to pick out the background paper, and that's what we're going to attach our swinging barn to. I gotta tell y'all, making those wreaths, I love it because it's easy and it's fast. But they eat up my fingers. It's all that mesh, I guess. Look at this. Isn't that terrible? I need to get some vinyl gloves or something. My husband's a veterinarian. He needs to bring me some of his surgical gloves home. All right, now we're going to get out our paper. And I am going to need, what would that be, 6. If it's 6 1/4, then I'm probably going to cut my paper at 6 1/8. And then 6 1/8 by 6 1/2. So let's find some paper. I'm going to make that one look, I'm going to make it look like the American flag. So what do I want in the background? Ooh, that's going to be hard to do. I think I'm going to do fireworks. All right, so what did I say? 6 1/2. Hang on. By 6 1/8. Okay. So this will fit right in here. Right, and I can do a different paper here. So this, before I glue it down, is what I am going to attach my swinging door to. So I'm going to center it on this page. Now remember, I do very small margins. Most people cut theirs to have an 1/8 on each side. I cut mine to have a 1/16 on each side. That's just how I started doing it. There was no reason. I just like the way it looks. So usually if your page is 6 1/4 wide, just most everybody that I've ever watched has then cut their paper, their decorative paper, at 6. So they would go down 1/4 inch. If it is 6 1/4, then I cut it at 6 1/8. It's just an aesthetic reason. So now I'm going to turn it over. That's where I'm going to put my hole. There, and since I talked about it, so if I didn't have my crocodile, I can use this, which my nieces, when they come over, they're like, have you been cleaning teeth? And I'm like, no. So I'm just going to put that point right in the middle. And there I have a hole. So you don't have to have the big crocodile. I am madly in love with my crocodile, but you don't have to have it. So this is my barn page. Put that through. I'm going to stick it through the hole that I made here. Right, I'm going to swing it around a little bit because it was a little bit smaller. All right. And I'm going to put some tape over that. All right. right, and then I'm going to glue the bejeebies out of this paper so I can put it onto my base page. Let's see. News of the week. Besides it was enrollment, Dr. Seuss week, I got to go read to kids. That's always fun, fun, fun. My parents did not find a way to accidentally kill themselves this week. Yay. We haven't tried to burn dangerous chemicals in the house. They haven't befriended any rabid animals. So I am going to call that a positive in my week. All right, so we're going to push this down in here. And then I'm going to line it up top. Move over. Oh my goodness. There it goes. Close enough, right? So I can swing our barn door up. Smush, smush, smush. All right, and now I'm going to put 2 magnets on the bottom of our pocket, and that is going to help keep our barn door in place. What do I do with my magnets? Come here. Oh my. So I'm just going to stick them right there in the middle. Spring break is coming up. The birds were out singing all morning. It was so nice. And I had a lot of crafting planned for spring break, but I have a feeling my husband's going to have the mud and tape guy here. So if there is a big delay in my posting, just know that my walls are being mudded and taped and painted. And maybe I'll get flooring down. I've had a subfloor because we totally gutted and rebuilt this house. And so I've just used throw rugs because this wasn't a room that people normally went into. But I'm getting to get fancy. Okay, dokie. Now we got our magnets, we got our spin. And there we have it. So this could be your barn, could be your house, could be your cutting board. I can't think of anything else. This is going to be my flag. I can open it up. If you want to put pockets here, just use the exact same size we used for this one. I'm going to have tuck spots in here. And then just plain, I'm just going to put plain red cardstock on this part. And then we can spin her up. And here you have room for a 4x6. And you can tuck journaling cards in. And I think it's perfect. So there we are. I will see you in the next video for our inside front pocket, which is the braided pocket. I think we've gotten that down to where we can do that one pretty quickly. And yeah, we just have the front inside pocket, which is the braided, the back inside cover, which is the movable waterfall, and then the covers and the hinges. So we are almost done, my friends. All right, I will see you in the next video. Bye.